I'm going to, before I take my lunch, I need to finish something up for work, but I wanted to sign on so you guys can come on in. Come on in and say good morning. Come on in. Everybody, come on in. I have to schedule a meeting right after tea time. I will be going to, after lunch, basically, I will be heading to a meeting. So I need to make sure to get everyone, and it's my meeting. So I have to make sure that I have everything ready for that meeting, which I do. So give me 1 second. And then I will just check to see who's here. Everybody, come on in. Everybody, come on in. Cindy. All right. Who does that sound like? All right. So today's topic, first of all, you know, when people start off with first of all, you need to back up possibly. So, you know, I broke my toes. You know, I've got broken toes over here. And I went to the podiatrist yesterday to have my foot looked at, to double check the healing, make sure it was healing properly. Because good morning, Stacy. Girl, I can't even lift my foot up here, Stacy. It's so heavy right now, girl. I'm rocking my work shoe on one to try to balance out the boot on the other shoe, right? The podiatrist put me in the boots. My foot is healing properly, meaning that the break is healing the way it's supposed to heal. It's in the healing process, and he could see, and he's very happy about the healing process. But because I have pain and there's still some swelling in the joint, he wanted me to wear the boots, because different from the post-op shoe. The post-op shoe is flat, and it doesn't so it doesn't relieve pressure from any part of the shoe. But the boot, the way you sit, the way your foot sits in the boot, it relieves the pressure off of the front part of your foot, which is what I need. So I'm in this boot for 3 weeks. Oh, don't pay attention to the fingernails. I'm doing a reset with the fingernails. So the interesting thing is, we know that our walk is important. How we walk is important, right? Maintaining the balance is very important. So when you walk with a limp, when you have crutches, when you hurt one foot and you're limping, right? Or you have a boot on one foot that's 5 inches tall, and then, or 2-3 inches tall, and then a flat shoe on the other foot, then you're walking off balance. And when you walk off balance, it throws off everything, your back, your hips, everything. By the time I finished at the doctor's office and then had to deal with the pet grooming appointment, I went to the pharmacy, and the boy was pushing me in a wheelchair in the pharmacy, because my sciatica was flaring up on the opposite hip, on the opposite side than the side that I had the boot on. Good morning, Bernadette. So this morning, I put my work shoe on one foot and the boot on the other foot, and the doctor said that I have to keep the boot on. But the funny part is, I called my mother this morning. I'm like, I need a bedpan. I need a bedpan so that I don't have to get out of the bed. I just need to, because the doctor said wear the boot no matter what, whether I'm walking around the house or outside or whatever, just wear the boot. And I'm like, dang it, I don't want to get up at all. That uncomfortable boot. But the reason why today's topic is sugar is because I have noticed we address a bunch of different things at this table, right? We address health, mental health, we address physical health, emotional, we address relationships, we address all kinds of things, politics, everything. And I, hold on. I have a terrible sweet tooth. Terrible sweet tooth. And I have terrible back pain and sciatica pain, right? And when I started seeing the Eastern medicine doctor, the alternative medicine doctor here, one of the things that she told me was that I needed to decrease my sugar intake, get off of processed sugar, refined sugars, right? Well, I have a terrible sweet tooth, so that's very difficult for me, right? Very difficult. And sugar is in everything. Sugar is in our pasta sauces, breads. Sugar is everywhere that we don't expect it to be. And sugar is tremendously addictive. And apparently, sugar contributes to inflammation in the body. So a couple of weeks ago, the boy and I went on a diet, a healthy eating endeavor, right? And one of the things as a part of our diet is that we are not doing sugar. We're not doing sweets, no candy. I mean, every now and again, I've had some candy every now and again, but y'all know I was sitting in this house, sitting at this state time table, scarfing down candy all day, every day. And the one thing that, good morning, Tobiah, and the one thing that I noticed in the past 2 weeks, and I wanted to knock on some wood.
You're going to want to mix it.
Merci, Etienne.
De rien, maman. Does it mean I can come on tea time?
No. Merci.
Oh, there's some cream in there.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. I was really busy at work today, so I had to ask the boy to make my tea for tea time. So the one thing that I've realized over the past couple of weeks, just recently, I'm like, oh, wow, my back pain. My back has been hurting that like a little bit versus I was living with about 8 or 9 pain all day, every day. And then here comes me with the no candy, no baked goods, no cakes, no pies, no candy, no sugar, basically, which was not the goal. I did not say, oh, I'm just going to stop eating sugar. Good morning, Steve. I didn't say, oh, I'm going to stop eating sugar. I said, I'm going to try to eat healthy. My pain is so diminished that why did this thing, I'm sorry, I had this, oh, there we go. That's fine. There we go. I'm trying to get my screen to come back up because I wanted to talk to you about the impact of sugar on our bodies. So let's talk about that, right? We eat too much sugar. It says Americans average about 270 calories of sugar each day. That's about 17 teaspoons a day, compared to the recommended limits of about 12 teaspoons per day or 200 calories. So Americans eat way too much sugar. And how does that affect us, right? We're overweight. We have tremendous health issues. So let's talk about the different ways that sugar affects your body. Eating sugar gives your brain a huge surge of the feel-good chemical called dopamine, which explains why you're more likely to crave a candy bar at 3 p.m. than an apple or a carrot. Because whole foods like fruits and veggies don't cause the brain to release as much dopamine. So that's why you're feeling bad. You want candy. There's a boost to the dopamine when you eat candy. But your brain starts to need more and more sugar to get that same feeling of pleasure. So it's like a drug. Sugar is like a drug. First you smoking a little bit of crack, and then that little bit of crack doesn't do enough for you. So now you need a little bit more crack, and then that little bit more crack doesn't do enough for you. So now you need a little bit more crack. Sugar is your crack. First you have a little bit of sugar, and then that doesn't do it. So now you need a little bit more sugar, and then that doesn't do it. And now you need even more. I don't have an inversion table, but Tobiah, a friend of mine has an inversion table, and I did try it, and it did provide a lot of relief. Yes, it did. It did. It was a little bit scary going on it, but yes, it did provide a lot of relief. You're right. So sugar affects your mood. The occasional candy or cookie can give you a quick burst of energy or a sugar high by raising your blood sugar levels fast. When your levels drop, as your cells absorb the sugar, you may feel jittery and anxious. That's the sugar crash. But if you're reaching into the candy jar too often, sugar starts to have an effect on your mood beyond that 3 p.m. slump. Studies have linked a high sugar intake to a greater risk of depression. So you feeling like you're in a slump all the time? Check your sugar intake. Check how you have been eating. Drink more water. We talked about that yesterday, right? Drink more water. Check your sugar intake. Sugar affects your mood. It affects your brain. It affects your mood. Your teeth. You probably rolled your eyes at 12, but your mother was right. Candy can rot your teeth. Well, we all know that. It affects your joints. If you have joint pain, there's more reason to lay off candy. Eating lots of sweets has been shown to worsen joint pain because of the inflammation. Oh, I didn't hear that. I mean, look, everything's a contributor to cancer now, right? Sugar is a contributor for cancer. Wow. Sugar causes inflammation in the body. So you're having joint pain, muscle weakness, muscle pain. Cut your sugar intake. Plus, studies show that sugar consumption can increase your risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis. All right, yeah, I'm laying off the sugar for real. Your skin, another side effect of inflammation, it may make your skin age faster. Excess sugar attaches to proteins in your bloodstream and creates harmful molecules called AGEs, or advanced glycation in products. Whatever, that's too much. Anyway, it can cause wrinkles and saggy skin. So you don't want to look like an old lady when you're 20. Stop eating all that sugar. You don't want to be energy depleted. Stop eating all that sugar. You think you need a sugar boost? No, stop eating so much sugar, and your body will better be able to regulate your energy, your mood, and your skin. Your liver. An abundance of added sugar likely contains fructose or high fructose corn syrup. Fructose is processed in the liver and in large amounts can damage the liver. When fructose is broken down in the liver, it is transformed into fat. Sugar turns to fat, right? Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This is seen as excess fat buildup in the liver. That can be one of the causes of, sugar can cause non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Non-alcoholic, this word I can't pronounce, is a fatty liver inflammation and steatosis, which is scarring of the liver. So you can damage your liver. Your heart. Am I telling you something you don't already know? Am I telling you something? You can mess up your heart. You can mess up your kidneys. You can mess up your pancreas. When you eat, your pancreas pumps out insulin, but if you're eating way too much sugar and your body stops responding properly to insulin, your pancreas starts pumping out even more insulin. Eventually, your overworked pancreas will break down and your blood sugar levels will rise, setting you up for type 2 diabetes. Your kidneys, your body weight. We all know excess amounts of sugar means fat. Sugar turns to fat, right? Your sexual health, I didn't know that. You may want to skip the dessert on date night. Sugar may impact the chain of events needed for an erection. One common side effect of chronically high levels of sugar in the bloodstream is that it can make men impotent. So men, if y'all having any struggles, cut your sugar. Cut your sugar intake. It's so interesting to me. In other countries, sugar is not in every single food product. One of the major issues that I think is a problem with processed food is, aside from all the rest of the stuff that's put in there, is the amount of sugar that's put in it. When you go to the grocery store, next time you go to the grocery store and you're picking something up, if you don't already do it, look at the ingredient list and see how much added sugar is in what you're about to buy. Sometimes, and don't just say, oh, well, it's only, 20 grams of added sugar. That's not a lot, right? That's 20 grams per servings, and what you just bought, maybe your drink or whatever it is, your drink is 3 servings. So that's 60 grams of added sugar that you're getting out of that one drink. We all know this. It will inhibit your ability to concentrate. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about how maybe that's why my mind is all over the place, because I eat too much sugar. My alternative medicine doctor told me to try chromium to curb my sugar cravings. If you restrict yourself from sugar, or anything really, but if you restrict yourself for a month, 20-something days to a month, as long as you can, restrict yourself. When you come back to it, you won't have as many cravings. You'll feel better. I've only been cutting my sugar intake, and I haven't completely gotten rid of sugar. There's sweetener in my tea right now, but I'm reducing the amount of sweetener that I have in all forms. So I've cut how much bread I've had, because carbs turn to sugar in your body. So I've cut how much carbs, I've cut how much bread I've eaten, how much pasta I eat. I don't eat the candy like I used to. I mean, I'm telling you, when I went to the store and spent $75 on candy, and that candy was gone within a matter of a week. It's too much. And here we're pushing up on Halloween. Don't let yourself go so crazy on the candy. Space it out. If you're gonna allow them to have candy, you're going cold turkey, Tobiah, or are you saying going cold turkey is the best? It can be hard. There have been days that I've gone and gotten a candy bar. Now for me, that's a double whammy, because I'm not supposed to have the dairy or the sugar, right? But there are times that I've gone and I just get a candy bar. But my craving for sugar is greatly reduced, because I have reduced not just my candy intake, but all forms of sugar. I have reduced that in the past 2 weeks, all forms of sugar. So if you are in a slump, yesterday we were talking about what to do when you don't feel like doing anything, right? What to do when you don't feel like doing anything. We had drink more water, organize your space, pick up a hobby, blah, 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 blah. But also look at, how are you eating? What types of foods have you put into your body in the past week or month? Have you been eating junk? Yesterday, unfortunately, I would say the boy and I went to McDonald's yesterday. I know, as I'm talking to y'all about healthy eating, right? I went to McDonald's. I have not been to a McDonald's probably in over a year. I have not been to a fast food restaurant during all of COVID. And prior to COVID, I wasn't at a fast food restaurant for probably 6 months, right? I have been cutting back on the level of sugar, yes. And change what kind of sugar, instead of using processed sugar or refined sugar, coconut sugar, maple syrup. I have started using maple syrup in place of a lot of the sugars. In one of my cupcakes that I baked, I used coconut sugars, and I swear to you, that was the best cupcake I've ever had. The best chocolate cupcake I've ever had was made with coconut sugar. For those of you who like Nutella, you can make your own hazelnut chocolate spread. I made mine with maple syrup instead of the white sugar that it called for. Delicious, absolutely delicious. Different from the unhealthy stuff at the store that includes palm oil and all kinds of other crap. Different, but absolutely delicious, right? I forgot where I was going with that. There was something I was about to say anyway, I forgot. The point is that you have to pay a very close attention, especially in these times right now. It's getting hard, right? It's hard for us to stay focused. I'm a label reader and I check everything. Nutella is 50% sugar. Oh my God, Tobiah. So when I buy something like Nutella, I just don't even look at the label. I just don't even look at it because I know it's garbage. And if I really, really want it, I don't want to read that it's garbage because I don't want to be reminded of the garbage I'm putting in my body. But I tell you what, you can make your own chocolate hazelnut spread. It is very simple to do, and it is so much healthier when you make it yourself. So much healthier. It is very simple. I did not have a food processor, so I need to get a food processor. Mine came out not as smooth as I would have liked for it to be because I had to make it in the blender, but it was still delicious. So what? I had some little bits of nut in there, but it was very, 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 very good. I used it as a cupcake filling, and then had extra, and the boy has just been scooping it out of the jar and sneaking and scooping it out of the jar and eating it. If you have a sweet tooth, find ways to satisfy your sweet tooth that are healthier for you. It is one of the worst things to eat. Yeah. And it includes palm oils, fat too. And for me, it has dairy in it. So, and that's terrible for me. Find ways to have your sweet tooth satisfied in a healthy way. And if you have your sweet tooth satisfied in a healthy way, guess what? You start to have less cravings. You cut that addiction. Sugar is a drug. Sugar is like crack. Sugar is like cocaine. Sugar is like heroin. Sugar is like alcohol. It is a drug. And you have to cut your addiction to it. And if you want to have healthier body, it's not just about your teeth. For me, I feel physically different. Over the past 2 weeks, my back pain is so reduced that's incentive enough for me to continue on this journey, to continue to cut more and more sugar out of my life. Because if I can cut the sugar instead of add the drugs to cut the pain. Now I have been also taking fish oil supplements and my vitamins. So if I stay on this regimen of fish oil supplements and vitamins, and I have my Digestive Plus that I have from Airbond, and I have my from Suli's Airbond, which she's going to come talk to us about. Yes, Bernadette, it's so beneficial. And when you have a terrible sweet tooth, you hear people say, cut the sugar, and you're like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. And you can't even imagine not being in pain because you just take sugar away. But you want to know something? I've had back pain since I was young, 12, 13 years old. I've lived with it for that long. And all along the way, nobody ever told me to take sugar out of my life. Nobody, until just recently. And just recently, I started taking sugar out of my life, and I've been greatly reduced pain. Imagine if somebody told me at 12 or 13, or if it was enforced at 12 or 13 that I had no sugar. Processed sugar is really bad for you. I do use raw sugar. Is raw sugar better? We want to eventually get to where we have a reduced need for sugar, a reduced craving for sugar, period. But however you work your way to that, again, like I use maple syrup now. I use coconut sugar, which is better than white sugar. I probably should try some raw sugar. I probably should try that. I have used raw sugar. Starbucks, when I used to go to Starbucks, they had raw sugar. So the point is, take care of your body. Take care of your body. Take care of your food intake. Eat right. And before we go, I'm going to show you guys the scarf I finished for Tobiah. This one is for your wife. So notice that this palm is different from Suli's palm. And pretty much when I do these scarves, I kind of decided yesterday, I don't want you guys all walking around with the exact same scarf. So anybody who gets one of these scarves from me has to be willing to have differences in it. There's not going to be Suli's, everybody walking around in Suli's scarf, or everybody walking around in Deborah's scarf. Now, they may look similar up here, but there's going to always be something different. Just always something different. Just like sea salt. Now, I do use sea salt. I do use sea salt now instead of the processed salt. But the processed salt has iodine in it. Does sea salt have iodine? And we do need iodine in our diet. Does sea salt have iodine? Maybe it has naturally occurring. I'm not sure. Thank you, Bernadette. I keep saying this is the Black Lives Matter scarf, but it really isn't. This red, green, and black has been around. Those colors have been around for years, since we were kids, right? That's more like a Black Pride thing, not a Black Lives Matter, but same, similar. Right? Anyway, guys, you guys have a wonderful day. I have a busy day ahead of me. I'm rocking the boots. You see my boots. I'm rocking the boots today. So I'm pretty much sitting still most of the day, right? Just so you know, I don't have any foot pain. It's just to keep from having foot pain. My foot is healing. The brakes are healing appropriately. However, it's taken a little bit longer to not have pain, and so they want me to just baby it a little bit longer. Have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. I will see you here tomorrow. Wash your hands, wear your mask, keep your distance, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention to what you're taking in. Give yourself treats when you need treats, but pay attention and don't let treats overrun. Oh, I know what I was saying. Let me go back. I know what I was saying, McDonald's. So yesterday we had McDonald's. Both of us woke up this morning like, ugh. We hadn't had fast food in so long. And this boy woke up like, Mama, my stomach hurts. I think it was the McDonald's. Yeah, it was. Absolutely. Mind what you take in. And don't let your body get used to the garbage. Our bodies are not used to the garbage anymore. We had junk before a lot, but our bodies are like, no. So we both woke up like, ugh. Anyway, have a wonderful, glorious day. Excuse me. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. Keep your distance, and I will see you here tomorrow.